These are the following procedures for the laboratory experiment number 4, the determination of dry unit weight, void ratio, and porosity. The first experiment is the determination of soil's dry unit weight. The materials needed for the experiment are the following. So, we have the distilled water, beaker, moist soil, cling wrap, and the weighing scale. The experiment starts with the preparation of a small lump of moist soil, and the soil sample is streamed, weighed, and label it as M1. Then the sample should be covered with thin layer of cling wrap to avoid disintegration of the soil. And then weigh the covered sample and label it as empty. Add water to the beaker and measure its volume. Place the covered soil sample inside the beaker and again measure the volume. The volume of the water displaced is equal to the volume of the covered soil sample. In order to get the value of the dry unit weight, use the formula of dry unit weight is equal to the total weight of soil over its volume. The second experiment is the determination of the soil's void ratio. The materials are disturbed soil, weighing scale, beaker, distilled water, and graduated cylinder. The first step for this experiment is to collect some quantity of moist soil and put it in the beaker. Next, gently press the soil sample inside the beaker until it reaches the amount of 100 ml. Take the total weight of the container with soil and record it. Pour some distilled water into the container with soil and wait for some time so that the entire voids present in the soil get filled with water. To get the value of void ratio, use the formula of void ratio is equal to W sub 3 minus W sub 2 all over W sub 2 minus W sub 1, where W sub 1 is the weight of the container, W sub 2 is the weight of the container and soil, and W sub 3 is the weight of the container, soil, and water. The last experiment is the determination of the soil's porosity. The materials needed are the following: sieve number 200 with pan, mortar and pestle, air-dried soil, beaker, graduated cylinder, and distilled water. For this experiment, make sure that the disturbed soil is already dry, and then crush it using mortar and pestle. And then using sieve number 200 with pan, agitate the soil sample until reaching the desired amount. Next, pour a total of 100 ml of soil on a beaker. Then, on a separate cylinder, pour a desired amount of distilled water and label it as V1. Take the first container with soil sample and take some pure distilled water. Pour it to the soil slowly. Put drops of water from time to time until the entire voids present in the soil get filled with water. When the soil is fully saturated, record the volume of water retained on the container. To get the value of porosity, use the formula of porosity is equal to V sub V over V sub 1. In that formula, V sub V is equal to V sub 1 minus V sub 2, where V sub 1 is equal to the total volume of water in the cylinder, V sub 2 is the volume left in the cylinder, and V sub V is the pore space volume.